Assalamualaikum. My name is Christina binti Azli, matrix number UDB21 and 230. My question is, what is the purpose behind the function of homework in enhancing learning? The most common purpose of homework is to have a student material already presented in class, so as to reinforce learning and facilitate mastery of special skills. Why does homework improve learning? Because it can help students recognize that learning can occur at home as well as school. Homework can foster independent learning and responsible character traits. Furthermore, what are the three main factors of homework? There are three major categories of homework: practice, preparation, and extensions. Besides for the university student or college student, what assignment is important and how can it help in learning? The student must see clearly some reason for the task assigned them. The assignment should be enable student to see the purpose for the study and some definite objective to be achieved. So then, other than that, homework has more of an impact on students that just helping improve their academic achievement. Studies have shown that regular homework can improve a multitude of life skills, from organizational skills to individual learning process. Students who regularly complete homework have been found to outperform those who don't. But the benefits go far beyond the academic realms. In fact, there are numerous studies that suggest students can benefit in numerous other ways. A 2001 study by Epstein and Van Voorhis found that homework could be grouped into 10 broadest purposes, as opposed to just improving student learning outcomes. So then, always ask what learning will result from this homework assignment. The goal of your instruction should be to design homework that results in meaningful learning. Assign homework to help students deepen their understanding of content. Practice skill in order to become faster or more proficient, or learn new content on a surface level. Check that students are able to perform required skills and tasks independently before asking them to complete homework assignment. So lastly, what we can get from the homework intensive learning? Above all, homework allows the student to gain responsibility, time management, perseverance, and self-esteem. The act of completing homework has benefit in terms of developing good habits in students. Thank you and goodbye.
Hello madam, my name is Valentine Jeremiah and my matrix number is UDB210248. Today I will be presenting about how has technology influenced our understanding of the word being healthy in this era. In this era of technological and scientific advancement, the meaning for the word being healthy has been underrated or most probably misunderstood. To our understanding, it can be categorized into two different aspects pertaining to the current relevance. It can be regarded as social health and physical health. There has been many advancement in the fitness and health industry, but there is always two sides to everything. In regards to that, it is no doubt that technology has had some influence in our understanding of being healthy. Neither can I say it was in a good or a bad way. It's a bit of both. But when it comes to evolution, it's just backtracking in regards of our health. First and foremost, pertaining the social health aspect, the social media has become quite a sensation in this 21st century, where it has basically become part of our lives. Literally speaking in terms of daily routine based on statistics. As of 2019 and 2020, average daily social media usage of internet users worldwide amounted to 145 minutes per day, up from 142 minutes in the previous year. It is good to share our lives with the community. It is good to connect, but when we become obsessed with sharing everything we experience with those we don't even know, that is problematic. Because in these past years, social media has become a toxic place where certain people have become cyberbullies, taunting people's looks and achievements. That fact counters with a person's self esteem and self confidence, which is important to decide and live our life. Also, this eventually messes with a person's mental health, which is tragic and saddening. But on the upside, it is a great way to speak our mind because of the freedom of speech which has been denied in certain countries and in the past. Pertaining to that fact, those who live in a democratic country should be grateful for the freedom they have. There are so many great causes that have been led and brought to the limelight through social media and technological advancement. As I quote Francis Parker Yoki, the 19th century was the age of individualism. The 20th and 21st are the ages of socialism. And I too believe that we do live in the greatest century where people consider everyone, and I mean everyone, as equals. That brings the meaning of being healthy in regards to social life more clearer thanks to technology. Now, in terms of physical health, I would say that the upcoming generation is facing with tons of misperception of the phrase being healthy. Because to their understanding, being healthy means getting good grades, being in track with the trend, and being socially active, plus, not to forget, always having technology's influence in their daily lives. Moreover, they seek a more shorter path of getting fit through using gadgets such as smart electrostimulation belt, which seems to be a shortcut to gain muscles and lose fat, which is clinically not recommended. This may seem good at first glance, but it is not. It is not, because it has tons of side effects due to the rapid change, plus it is of passive nature, which goes against being active to be fit. Nevertheless, it affects our intestines and organs, which is not good. But I'm not saying technology has influenced physical health in a bad way only. Rather, saying there is always two sides to everything, and pertaining to the good side, technology has proven in changing people's perspective on being healthy. People's understanding of being healthy has been enhanced due to the technological advancement in healthcare. Some of those are the incorporation of AI technologies in the healthcare system, which has been an innovative game changer. AI amplifies the expertise of trained doctors with additional layers of real time data, information, and insights, making it possible to cut down errors and increase precision. This changes their perspective on being healthy as healthcare is more accurate, which will help them in regards of medical checkup, which should be done at least once a year. Also, nowadays there are gadgets which help us keep track of our health. For example, oximeter, which is relevant in this pandemic period. An oximeter helps us record our oxygen saturation to make sure everything is how it's supposed to be. Plus, there are pulse rate sensors which enhance a person's performance in regards of endurance and consistency in cardio exercise sessions. To conclude, I would very much stress the fact that everything has to be in limit. Hence, our understanding towards being healthy should only be enhanced using technology, not backtracking our evolution. Because even though our predecessors were not able to experience the technology we have now, they were able to keep themselves healthy and without the sicknesses that we suffer from today. So, we better make good use of the technology we have. Health is something precious in our lives. Being healthy is how we can live the life to fullest. So use technology to enhance our understanding and knowledge on being healthy, rather complicating ourselves with the concept of health. Thank you, madam.
Assalamualaikum. My name is Nur Izzah Shazani binti Nasrawan. My matrix number is UDB210256. I choose a topic of has the use of technology made us more dependent or independent thinkers or both. In this era of information technology, technology has made us more dependent and independent thinkers. Besides, the technology has played a major role in our life by having easy and quick access to information and communication technology, particularly the internet. It is critical as it allows anyone to acquire information and any type of news in the blink of an eye. all aspects of information technology thinking have reached the advanced level of maturity. Therefore, the use of technology made our life easier, more convenient, and that makes it possible to meet the demands or needs of individuals or collective, adapted to the needs of a particular time. At this stage, it is important to emphasize that the technique is a set of technical knowledge, skills, and rules used to obtain results. On the contrary, technology is a mode by which it is a connection between how that is solved by the technique and why. Technology is a key to success that indicates a specific and important technological advance at different times, especially for the society's better future and the futuristic invention of new ideas. Factors of the use of technology that made us dependent and independent thinkers. The use of technology for dependent thinkers is based on how we do research to get information by the internet that is virtually an endless sources of knowledge, making it easier than ever to conduct research and educate ourselves. Indeed, disseminating news and information has never been easier, which has both positive and negative implications. While individuals are more knowledgeable than ever before and can readily educate themselves on a variety of issues via the internet. The simplicity with which information can be disseminated also proven to be dangerous. Therefore, false information has the potential to spread easily and have serious consequences. Without technology, we cannot access the internet to find information in order to gain knowledge, make improvement to ourselves, and do research that is useful for us. Apart from that, the use of technology in education has made students' life easier to store data or information on the computer. They can use different software and tools to make presentations and projects or go through online libraries that can be accessed at any time. Consequently, the advent of technology in education has made the process of learning and knowledge sharing more interactive. The most significant impact of technology on education is a revolution in our perspective of the world. The remarkable shift of thinking from local to global can be attributed to the technology. Nowadays, we are open to all information available with free sources on the internet, and most of us use technology in our life. Thus, we rely heavily on technology when in fact its use is extraordinary because it benefits us in many things, such as we can develop interesting ideas and enhance our knowledge and skills and expand business activities in order to face critical things and handle things easily. On the other hand, the use of technology for independent thinkers is referred to the ability to generate original ideas and interpretation or to validate thinking that aligns with conventional thought. In order to enhance our thinking and creativity is by we can explore our own potential and creativity, such as using a mind map, infographic, TED Talks, and so on. In this way, it is required to brainstorm ideas, have the courage as a speaker to present ideas about education, business, and many kind of topics. Besides, use different tools for representing the idea on an infographic, which makes interpretations of information quicker and easier by using our creativity and imagination. In conclusion, we can already equip ourselves with a variety of skills and information. This is due to life pressures, which correspond to the current circulation. Thus, technology supports creativity since it is an interactive medium that allows us to explore our own potential in thinking and let us learn through curiosity and critical thinking. Moreover, the inventions of technology has made the world become distinct and has helped the further development of technology. However, the new advancements of technology now making us both dependent and independent thinkers. So that's all from me. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Sutra Devi and my metric number is UDB210267. Today I'm going to talk about should free education be made mandatory in all university in order to increase literacy in every citizen? The answer is yes. Education has positive benefits for the rest of society. If university education is left to market force, there may be under provision and the economy may suffer from a lack of skilled graduates. Furthermore, in a free market, higher education would become the preserve of wealthy families who can afford to send their children to a university. Therefore, there is strong case for the government providing higher education free at the point of use. However, others argue the positive extreme qualities of higher education are limited and the prime beneficiaries of a university degree are limited. Government spending may be mislocated in offering relatively expensive university education. Rather than fund 3 to 4 years university degrees, governments may be able to get a better return from spending money in primary education and vocational training, which is more relevant to the needs of economy. Second point is opportunity cost. If we spend billions of free university education, there is an opportunity of cost of higher taxes or less spending elsewhere. Arguably, there is a greater social benefits from providing vocational training. For example, so people could become plumbers, electricians, and etc. There is often a real shortage of these skills in an economy. For skills and education report significant skills shortage in the basic core genetic skills such as literacy, numeracy, and communication skills. These skills shortage are prominent in industry like buildings, healthcare, plumbing, social care, and construction. The problem is not a shortage of graduates with art degrees but a shortage of lower level vocational skills. Therefore, there is a case for changing students to study at university, allowing higher public spending to tackle more basic skill shortage. In recent decades, there has been a rapid rise in the number of graduates, but many graduates are now leaving university to take jobs which don't require degree. Therefore, it is a mistake to continue to fund the public expansion of university education because the economy doesn't need more graduates as much as other vocational skills. The rapid rise in university numbers means that greater pressure is being put on university resources. Since the government is struggle to increase real spending, there is danger that university education and research may suffer, causing our education to lay behind other countries. If people have to pay to go to university, you could argue that they would value education more. If higher education is free, it may encourage students to take an easy 3 years of relocation. Arguably, higher education acts as a signal to employees that graduates have greater capacity. As a consequence, people who gain a degree and end up with relatively higher salary. Therefore, if they financially gain from studying at university, it is perhaps fair they pay part of the cost. This is especially important for middle class families who send a higher proportion of family to higher education. That's all from me. Thank you very much.
Hi everyone, my name is Fazami Hilmi. My matrix number is UDB210269. So today I'm going to present a topic about do the social platform like Facebook, Instagram or Twitter represent a great mode of communication to share our ideas. As communication and information travel faster and faster, the world seems to get smaller and smaller. As a result, this changes how the world communicates, especially with today's obsession with social media network. The internet and social media provide young people with a range of benefits and opportunities to empower themselves in a variety of ways. Young people can maintain social connection and support networks that otherwise wouldn't be possible. and can access more information than ever before. The communities and social interaction young people from online can be invaluable for bolstering and developing young people self-confidence and social skills. And also, when you are thinking about creating a social media strategy for your business, a few leading platforms probably come to mind right away, which is Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and maybe YouTube and Pinterest, depending on your industry. There are some of the ideas that represent positive of internet and social media for young people. As example, young people as social participant and active citizen. In addition, it is an example of an idea that make young people as content creator, manager, and distributor. Social networking services rely on active participant. Users take part in activities and discussion on a site and upload, modify, or create content. This support creativity and can support discussion about ownership of content and data management. Young people who use social networking services to showcase content, music, film, photography, or writing need to know what permissions they are giving to host service, so that they can make informed decisions about how and what they place on a site. Users might also want to explore additional licensing options that may be available to them within services. For example, Creative Commons licensing to allow them to share their work with other people in a range of ways. Last but not least, the advantage of social media can affect young people to continue to explore and learn. Social networking encourages discovery. If someone is interested in certain books, band, recipe, or ideas, it's likely that their interest will be catered for by a social networking services or group within a service. If users are looking for something more specific or unusual, then they could create their own group or social networking site. Social networking service can help young people develop their interests and find other people who share the same interests. They can help introduce young people to new things and ideas and deepen appreciation of existing interests. They can also help broaden users' horizons by helping them discover how the other people live and think in all parts of the world. So that's all from me. Thank you.
Hi Madam, Assalamualaikum. My name is Muhammad Hafiz bin Bakri. My matrix number is UDB210278. What I'm gonna present is about, does the genre of movie influence the way the young think and act in reality? As we know, there are many genres in movie industry. The basic genre is action, comedy, drama, fantasy, horror, crime or mystery, romance, thriller, science fiction, and many more. It's not wrong for the young to watch the movie, but lack of attention from parents? The answer is yes. Genre of movie does influence the way the young think and act in reality. It is because the young don't really know the difference between reality or fantasy, good or bad. For them, the action that have been showed in the movie was real. There's plenty of incidents that involve the young. One of the movie is Spider-Man. This movie genre is action, science fiction, superhero, adventure, and fantasy. In the movie, Spider-Man gained that superhero power after being bitten by a spider in a lab. So, the three siblings from Bolivia attempted to do an experiment by using a real spider, which is a black widow spider, and attempted to become a Spider-Man. They think they can be a Spider-Man after being bit, like what had happened in the movie. But unfortunately, they end up in the hospital. Luckily for the young, they survive because of their mother's swift action. If that incident influenced by the action genre movie, what gonna happen when the young influenced by a murder or crime genre movie? It is a big responsibility for parents to keep the young safe. The parents must monitor their children while or after watching the movie. To prevent this incident happen again, it is important for parents to guide the young by giving an explanation of what had happened in the movie is not real. The action in the movie was performed by a professional stunt actor, so the young are not allowed to try it because it is dangerous. Also, parents has to prohibiting them from watching movies that are not appropriate for their age and potentially influencing the young. The parent has to take control on media such as TV and or internet. The parent can also introduce to their children movies that had good value message, such as Cinderella on 2015 that shows kindness, compassion, and courage, or Frozen 2013 that show kindness and sibling love, or Sing 2016. This film teach that nothing can hold you back. You can always pick yourself up and be stronger than ever, and many more. With that value in life they gain, the children can be a good person in the future. Also, parents need to always know that today's young are potentially to become the leader in the future. So, parents have to be more careful and wise to choose best movie for their children because good expose for the young influence their mentality in future. Thank you, madam. That's all from me. Bye. Assalamualaikum.
In my opinion, culture does influence our thinking in making decisions in life, and that is because we often compare what we learned in the past with those we see in the present. It is our present reality that shapes our future, and that culture is a reflection of that. So I suppose there are many factors that influence people with varying degree. So here are some major ones that play a major role in how culture shapes our behavior and how the society in which we live affect us. There is a slight chance that your culture may not have an effect on the behavior. However, culture can have an important role in our understanding and ideas about how to improve our behaviors. So, culture has a very important role to govern a country in deciding its course of actions, and people living in other culture will be affected by that. So, culture is an effect of the society, and it takes into considerations what we view as a common, and then decide it right or wrong according to whether or not it will work well for the society. So basically, culture is the way how we view life. It will have an impact on our decisions and behavior. Moreover, culture has myths about which we can't fully discover, as there are many other differences such as how we eat, what consider rude, why there's certain things that we need to follow, and so on. Culture also influences our values, and this is how life ought to be. So some cultural values are internalized, while the rest is perceived as social influence from others, and and it's difficult not to perceive things through the eyes of others, so we choose based on what outcome will be best for us, and most likely just people around us will with similar cultural values to us. So how to live, eat, work, love, rest a family, and be a part of our communities. Our choices are largely based on a path that exists inside our culture. Money and technological progress are directed toward what society values, but in reality, it has an impact on our feelings of guilt and shame because we don't just make decisions on good outcomes, but also to avoid the bad ones. So many argue that cultures are totally different and some have no similarity to others, as people may perceive difference between social groups because of the difference between groups in the specific behaviors that are seen of different values. Even if other behavior that are exemplars of the value do not difference. Thus, by thinking about group in terms of concrete instance, differences may be stronger than similarities. So in other words, people in different social group may endorse the same value that associate different behavior with them. So certain culture are so different that I find it very weird and very rare around us, which I made some research on Anuaan of Panama, Hiba of Namibia, Apatania of Northern India has a very unique culture. So culture refer to the symbols, language, belief, values, and artifacts that are part of any society. Because culture influences people's belief and behaviors, culture is a key concept to the sociological perspective. So culture does influence us in making decisions in daily life, and cultural activities such as the use of language influence our learning progress, affecting our ability to collect different kinds of data and make connection between them and infer a desirable mode of behavior from them. So that's all from me about culture does influence our making decision in daily life. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum and a very good day to Madam Asiatul. My name is Muhammad Mampua bin Mama Azantwa from UDB 210308 Section 4, Course Diploma Human Resources. Today, I'm gonna presenting an assessment with a title called Suicide as an Escape Route Among Both the Young and Old is Increasing. How can the silent epidemic be prevented? First, I will start my presentation with the definition of suicide. Suicide is a death caused by injuring oneself with the intent to die. A suicide intent is when someone harms themselves with any intent to end their life, but they do not die as a result of their action. Next, suicide occurs more often in older people than in younger people, but is still one of the leading causes of death in the late childhood and adolescence worldwide. This not only results in the direct loss of many young lives, but also have a disruptive psychosocial and adverse socio-economic effects. From the perspective of public mental health, suicide among young people is a main issue to address. Therefore, we need a good insight into the risk factors contributing to suicidal behavior in this youth. The mini review gives a short overview of the most important risk factors for late school age children and adolescents. As established by scientific research in this domain, key risk factors found were mental disorder, previous suicide attempts, specific personality characteristics, genetic loading, and family process in combination with triggering psychosocial stressor, exposure to inspiring models, and availability of means of committing suicide. Further unraveling and knowledge of the complex interplay of these factors is highly relevant with regard to the development of effective prevention strategy plan for youth suicide. Suicide prevention efforts require coordination and collaboration among multiple sectors of society, both public and private too, including both health and non-health sectors such as education, labor, agriculture, business, justice, law, defense, politics, and the media itself. These efforts must be comprehensive, integrated, and synergistic, as no single approach can impact alone on an issue as complex as suicide. One recognized strategy for the prevention of suicide in the assessment and management of mental disorder as described in WHO's Mental Health Gap Action Program, which identify evidence-based of individual level strategies including for the assessment and management of persons who intend suicide. At the population level, WHO, a mental health gap action program, advocated institutional access to the means of suicide, developing policies to reduce the harmful use of alcohol to a range of policy options, and encouraging the media to follow responsible reporting practice on suicide. In addition, prioritizing preventing intervention among vulnerable populations, including those who have previously attempted suicide, have also proved being helpful. As a result, postvention has been identified as an important component of suicide prevention. Bereavement families and friends of people who have died by suicide also require care and support. Suicide prevention requires a vision, a plan, and a set of strategies. These efforts must be informed by data. A guiding conceptual framework must be created in a culturally specific manner, even though there is no universal set of strategy that will work in each and every country. Sustained leadership is essential as the goal of suicide prevention can be achieved only through sustained efforts. In order to create a social change, three important factors are required. The first one is knowledge, the second one is public support, and the last one is social strategy such as national response to accomplish suicide prevention goals. In conclusion, suicide is preventable tragedy. Friends, family, colleges, and other people can help by offering mental support and connecting at least individual to preventing these sources. Every suicide threat is serious because every life in this world is valuable. Thank you for listening. That's all for me.
My name is Muhammad Farid Akram Yusufomo. My metric number is UDB210335. I want to answer the question, what forced the world evolution mean academia and how does it impact students and teachers in this era? Okay, let's go forward to my answer. Who opposed the term evolution in academia and how it affects students and teachers in this era is religious or cultural. Religious or cultural objections by the public to the teaching and evolution in the classroom. For example, biology subjects. Student willingness to explore scientific areas of evolutionary theory and teachers' willingness to provide solid instruction on the topic can but be influenced by high school biology learning. Cultural and religious sensitivity teaching strategy resources to assist teaching in identifying students' religious and cultural concern about evolution. Introducing various possible relationship between science and religions and focus on nature of science. Okay. Recognizing that evolution does not always conflict with religious belief, as well as gaining a better understanding of the cultural context of modern and historical views on evolution. The qualitative finding of student focus groups were designed to investigate the extent to which the resource activities help to create a supportive classroom environment that would encourage students to engage with the topic of evolution. And more broadly, what benefits, if any, students derive from participating in these activities? For example, would participate in the activities alleviate any anxiety students may have about the evolution on their learning. If this is the case, would imply that the activities contribute to the creation of a positive classroom environment. How would students' understanding of cultural concern about evolution be influenced by participation in the activities? If the activities help students recognize that cultural concern about evolution differ and that scientific study of evolution can address this concern, then the activities aided in their understanding of the nature of science. How would students react to a discussion of the natural controversy surrounding evolution in science classroom? That resource suggests activities that are not typical of those found in science classroom. To a large extent, the resource must address the likely range of student and teacher comfort with this approach if it is to be considered successful. Students are aware of the religious and cultural concerns surrounding the teaching of evolution. Whether or not they share these concerns, the majority of students who participated in the focus group expressed gratitude for the opportunity to have a respectful discussion that acknowledge this concern. For the next part of this experience can help to reduce around the topic of evolution and help to create a non-threatening classroom environment. Some students explain that the activities were comforting way to begin their study of evolution. However, a minority of students express dissatisfaction with a religious discussion. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Nurul Shafika Fitra Azhar Effendi. Number matrix is UDB210360. How strong is the environment in which the child is naturally influencing the physiological well-being of a child? The development of a child is greatly influenced by environmental factors. During stage of development, each individual exhibits similar developmental characteristics, but they differ physically, cognitively, emotionally, and socially. I would like to describe the influence of biology, environment, society, and culture on children development in relation to nature and nurture and discover whether nature or nature has the greatest influence on children development. Nature and nurture are different in some way but share one similarity, which is the fact that both have an influence on children development. Both play an important role in how children develop as well as the type of person they will grow up with. Children are born with some traits and characteristics which they learn another. Nurturing is what they are taught or learn from the surroundings, such as manners and learning to say please and thank you. They are different influences on children development in relation to nature and nurture. They influence biological, environmental, society, and culture. Nature is responsible for biological influence. Biological influence is the trait passed down by parents to their children. It include physical characteristics, talent and ability as well as social decision. Parenting is responsible for the influence of the environment. There are things that are present in a child development that can be socially applied through natural interaction with another. Culture and societal influences include both direct and indirect effects of culture, race and ethnicity, as well as significant economic effects. Gender role, marriage, divorce, single parent, and religion. It don't matter what kind of it don't matter what kind of influence there is on child development, whether it is related to nature or nurture.